everyone, and you're very welcome to the Man United Agenda. It's me and Mr. B coming at you live with the Manchester United versus Fulham preview show. Mr. B, though, before we get into the meeting, the details, how are you?
I'm good, man. It's a Thursday, one more day till the best day of the week. So yeah, I'm looking forward to the game. I wish we were playing Saturday, but I'll be honest. This waiting part is gonna kill me. God, what's that? What is that? Is that my mic or yours?
I don't know. Are you hearing something?
Yeah, I like a talk again.
Testing 1 2 1 2 1 2.
Yeah, I think we're all right now. I think we're all right now. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the weekend, Rebel. I just wish we weren't on a Sunday. I mean, it's nice, to sit down and to have our games, but Jesus Christ, man, it's the long wait, man. It's the long wait, man. How you doing anyway?
Yeah, not too bad. No, not too bad. I suppose last year, when I think back on it, we were dreading the next game of football because it was hitting us bang, 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 bang. But now we're forced to wait a week to watch Setsko and Mbumo and Cunha again. It's like, come on, give us another game. Come on.
Give us something in between, you know what I mean? Look, I think we're in a good place, Rebel. After the first game, I actually think we're in a good place. We played better looking back on it than I thought we would have done. We did deserve something better. The true test is now, obviously, we weren't supposed to be beating Arsenal, but we've got Fulham now away from home. Regardless of what they've done to us for the last few games that they've played us, it's a game that we should be winning. I'm actually going into the game feeling confident that we are going to do something. Another week's training. I assume, I would like to think that we're going to be better. Yeah, we're going to be away from home, but I do believe that we will. I'm really feeling positive about the game, rightly or wrongly. I've been duped into thinking that we may be a good team again. So yeah, that's where I am at the moment, to be fair.
I do want to say howdy to Jarl. I think that's how you pronounce it. Apologies if I made a hash of it. He said it's been an interesting day. United have got themselves a head of the academy, and we also stole him from Brentford, and now we've stolen Crystal Palace's head of medical. So hopefully, anyway. I hadn't heard about the head of medical, but hopefully that means that we'll start actually doing our job in the medical department, because we were shocking with injuries last year. But before we get into the game details and everything else, I want to say hello to I Am Titanium, Stephanie, Matteo, Hydro, Bart, Shah, and of course the big man Solo, who you will know as world famous for his solo 11s. However, he can no longer select the McFred, so that's good news for us all. And there's Razin as well. Greetings and salutations. But let's do a small bit of housekeeping. If you hit that subscribe button, which is 100% free to do, when we get to 4K, one of you will get either the home, away, or the third kit. And unless you're Cullen, of course, you may want the goalkeeper, or maybe you won't. And then Cullen's pride and joy. He's like Smeargle trying to hoard it and keep it in his room. He's absolutely gutted when we get to the day where we reach the tag where that Robson jersey will be given away. All you have to do is, for the price of 3 Freddos, is join the membership program. It's £1 a month, and essentially you're getting a chance to win a piece of Man United history. But I'm going to set the scene in regards to our opponents. This is their stats from the last game. They had 7 shots, 2 of which were on target, 423 passes, 82% pass accuracy. Let me just get that off the screen for a second.
Sorry.
Fouls 15. Yellow cards 3, red cards 0, offsides 2. So kind of a fairly standard enough performance in day out against Brighton. But that was against Brighton. Obviously, we would not like to have the same issues as them as last week in front of goals. It was a 1-1 Rasm, by the way, was the result last week. But this is the solo 11. Yarrow, Delict, Shaw, Dorgu, Casemiro, Bruno Fernandes, Ahmad, Mbumo, Cunha, and of course Benjamin Šeško. So the IT gremlins were doing a bit of razzmatazz and glossing up the way that we present the lineups. But Mr. B, let's get down to brass tacks. That front three obviously looks promising. They gave Saliba and Gabriel an absolutely torrid time last week. Obviously, we didn't score. But let's talk about the elephant in the room. Goalkeeping position, midfield. Do you think that could still be something that could bite us against the likes of the Fulham?
No, I don't. I really, really don't, Rebel. I think Onana's coming back in. Obviously, we've seen the predicted 11 there. Onana comes in. The midfield is going to have another week's training. Look, we're sitting here thinking that it doesn't work. The midfield wasn't the issue against Arsenal, and this is what people need to understand. The midfield wasn't the issue. We dominated the game. Yeah, we were at home, but the midfield wasn't an issue. So everybody's saying, "Oh, the midfield's not working. The midfield's not working." Give it a few more games. Maybe the personnel in the midfield isn't quite right what we're looking for, but in regards to the system working, it works. You know, there's so much negativity around the two in midfield. Look at the game. Arsenal played with three in midfield. Arsenal played their normal formation, and it didn't seem to bother us. We didn't have gaps. We didn't have the gaps in the middle of the park. Agate came in and made an absolute mess of what he was doing, but Casemiro did all right. Will Casemiro play again? I believe that he will. One game a week until they find a replacement. Agate will probably play the Grimsby game during the week. I think we're during the week. So I don't feel that I don't feel that the midfield is going to be an issue this week. I really, really don't. You know, obviously Banana Man's going to be back in goal. I don't envisage Bayinde playing another Premier League game for us after that era. It's all well and good managers backing players, but he lost us. I would say he lost us 3 points. I'm not even going to say he lost us 8 points. I think he lost us 3 points. So I would like to think that Onana comes in. He knows he's under a shitload of pressure. Nobody expects him to do anything, but he needs to take his finger out of his backside and palm those balls away from the goal and not palming them back in. So yeah, the elephant in the room, I don't see being an issue for this game. I said, moving forward after the international break, yeah, granted, we're going to have harder games and we're going to need a midfield that, you know, we need another player. I mean, we've been linked with Stiller. Obviously, we were on the show on Tuesday, and he kind of came up in conversation, but they are looking for that central midfielder. You know, so what are you feeling, Rebel? Guys in the chat, obviously you've heard my defense of Amrim's system. What are you thinking, Rebel? Guys in the chat, what are you thinking?
Here's the thing for me. I'm just looking at what Arsenal have done since they played Manchester United. They felt there was a lack in something in their mechanics against Manchester United, and they're after going out and buying Eze to come in and to change things for them. So obviously we've identified two key areas. We weren't happy with Ugarte and the back pass that set up a counter-attack. We weren't happy with the kind of hit and hope shot that he done in the second half as well. But I think you mentioned Casemiro, and obviously he's one of the key members now of that midfield for us. But here's the worry I have. If we don't address midfield, as you said, we'll probably get away with it against Fulham. One injury to Casemiro, and then our depth chart is because what we've been hearing is Ruben Amorim views Ugarte and Casemiro as the interchangeable duo, and then Kobe and Bruno. So he clearly doesn't feel that Kobe can be played with Bruno for whatever reason.
I think he sees Kobe and Bruno playing the same position. You kind of double up players in it. Xerxes, maybe Sesko, Mount one side, covering. When I look at it, I actually think that he may be covered for Bruno. The only thing is with that is Bruno plays every game. So when does he play?
There's that. And the other side of it is one injury to the Casemiro-Ugarte situation, and you've literally got Ugarte only. There's no third man option in that midfield. But let's take a look at Fulham's team that they put out last week. I'm just going to dip off the comment box again there. So, former Arsenal goalkeeper Leno. Then they've got Bassi, Kunichi, Anderson, and Tate in the back line. But let's look at their midfield. Sander Berge, Burnley, if I'm not mistaken. Lukic and King. Then obviously the Arsenal man Iwobi and Wilson on the other wing, and then Wolves, Raul Jimenez leading the line. But that midfield three probably isn't as strong as previous midfields that Fulham put out. They had the likes of Plaketa and who's the other fella? Pre-season Pirlo that they signed from us. You're muted. You're still muted.
Still muted?
There you are.
Guys, what does that sound quality sound like? I'm having mic issues at the moment. Sorry about that. What was that question, Rebel? Sorry, brother.
The pre-season Pirlo that we sold to Fulham. I'm trying to remember.
Pereira.
That's the one.
Yeah.
That midfield is probably one of the weaker midfields that we'll face. Would you agree?
Yeah, I would like to think it is. The thing is, the status quo dictates that we should be winning this game, Rebel. And who have Fulham bought? Who have Fulham? This is the same team from last season.
Fulham transfers. Let's have a quick look. I don't believe they've signed anyone.
Yeah, that team looks the same. All right, they were better than us last year, but we're so the players we have. I said I don't want to go into this game overconfident, Rebel. That's the part of it. But I look at that team and I don't see there's any threat from it.
Actually, let me just bring this up on screen because this is actually their business that they've done. 2 players. One was an end-of-loan return, and the other one was a second-choice keeper. That's 34. That's all Fulham have done.
Yeah, I'm sorry, man. I'm gonna be so disappointed, honestly, Rebel. If this isn't from what they showed us in the first game, they've had a week of silence. They've had a week of no videos going out of them training, no systems and all of that. You know what I mean? So I'm really, really hoping that I'm really, really hoping that
we've lost your mic again, have we? Apologies, folks. We are having some technical difficulties today. While he's sorting that out, let me go through a few comments here. Bart is saying Joe Tim Anderson is quality early. It'll be interesting to see how he tackles United crosses. Fortunately for Casemiro, Bird isn't the most mobile out-centre defensive midfielders. Shavish is saying Angelo Stiller, he isn't a Believer type of player, but he can play double pivot with Believer, like how Chelsea play Casado and Enzo. Tyrone Williams is saying Sanderberg is quality for Fulham, but he's the only one that stands out for him alongside Iwobi. Bart is also letting us know that there's serious cash flow issues in Fulham. Matteo saying Iwobi and Wilson are dangerous. And I believe we have Mr. B back. I can hear sound again.
Is that better?
We have you back. You're back again.
Look at that. The sound's on and the light's bloody off.
Oh, surprise, surprise.
Fuck off.
Swear jar.
My guy, it's been a long time. I could have said it's been a long time. How you doing, my friend? Let me get a couple of these up while I'm here. Sorry. Stephanie, weakness is Ahmad and Bruno in midfield. Quartet can't play both. We will be too lightweight. Tyrone is saying a howdy. Matty, three changes from the Arsenal game. Onana, Diallo. Oh, you obviously didn't see our presentation that we had at the beginning. Maybe we'll start saving that for the middle of the show. But yeah, that's who we had in. We had in Sesko, we had in Ahmad, and we did have in Onana. Matteo, system is fine. Personnel but might be tweaked. One player here, one player there, but we dominated Arsenal. Doesn't matter if we were at home. But if we get another there we go. Leave that running for a bit. If we get another midfielder, then Mainoo becomes 5th or 6th choice at a time when he's fighting for his England place. That's obviously a little bit of troublemaking there. Tyrone, the match against Arsenal was impressive, but I'm still not a fan of the system. You're never going to be a fan of the system, Tyrone. I know that for a fact, boy. I expect to win against Fulham. Oh, Shavesh Shireen. Let's have a look. You're new. I definitely haven't seen you before. Brother, you found us. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button, yeah? He isn't a Belabor type player, but he can play double pivot with Belabor, like how Enzo plays with Casado at Chelsea. So obviously he's talking about Stiller. But where we gone? What is wrong with this bloody thing?
I did cover some of those actually.
Yeah, that's all right. Joachim Anderson is quite good eerily. It will be interesting to see how he tackles United's crosses. Fortunately for Casemiro, Bird isn't the most mobile. Yeah, it's going to be the battle of the snails in centre midfield this week, boy. Yeah, right, we get these back up. We get these live comments back up. I've got it, man. Stuart the Red, we see you in the house hiding slyly. Talk you, boy. I hope you're doing well, my friend. I really, really hope you're doing well, boy. Yeah, sorry, Rebel.
Yeah, I suppose as we've been saying for a while, it's a game a week. We are waiting, are forced to wait another week to see how we're developing. There is a lot of people still are giving fair crap to us about the quality of our goalkeeper, the quality of our midfield. And I suppose it's not something that's unknown to Man United fans. We are aware of it. We are listening to all this stuff about ownership being dragged through the red taps again and some clause that's in effect that, let's face it, is never going to be triggered because they're in a good relationship with each other at the moment. So I think that's only nonsense being printed. But we aren't talking in the business of football. We are talking about where we think we're going to cause them problems. And I think it's clear to see that obviously Mbouma was going to get fitter and fitter every week he plays. But Cunha, that man has an engine. And when he runs at you, holy Jesus, does he terrify defenders. And I think he's going to love bopping off big Sesko because Sesko can control a ball and he can hold up a ball. We've seen him kind of already showing how much he can link up with the other two players. And obviously, I'd imagine that's going to lead to 2 low blocks defensively when Fulham are off the ball, and we're going to have to break that down. So do we start seeing maybe a few more balls going in towards Sesko's head?
I would like to think so. He's 6'5", bro. There's no point in having somebody that size on the pitch if you're not going to utilize it. Yes, I don't expect us to be spamming crosses from all over the place, but I do expect Sesko to get on his fair end of crosses. Will it be Diallo? Will it be Dallo? Send them in from the right, the direct ones, or will it be the cutback from Ahmad? Either way, I am expecting him to get more than a couple opportunities tomorrow. Sorry, on Sunday.
Yeah. Now, obviously, it is quite a wait. We know that Chelsea are playing tomorrow in the Premier League. There's obviously the usual suite of Saturday games. We're playing at 4:30 again on Sunday, I believe it is.
Yeah.
And then the Scouts are finishing off the weekend on Monday, where I think, if I remember correctly, is this year the first year that you'll be able to have multi-box matches in the Premier League?
Who?
That you'll be able to have multiple games basically on a multi-screen on your telly with Sky. I think it's
okay. So yeah, you do what you do in it. They need to show some fandangles. I mean, guys, look, we're only on 11 likes at the moment. If you're only passing through, look, just hit it up quickly, and then depart. Leave a comment afterwards as well. Sorry, Rebel.
Yeah, actually, go on. Sorry,
no, I'll let you finish. Go on.
I was going to ask. Obviously, we're seeing a lot of changes to what we're used to as football fans, and a tad Americanization of things with the way the TV productions are going. Now, we didn't get a chance to talk about it yet this week, but obviously, Odegaard was interviewed at halftime during the United Arsenal game. Like, given the fact that as a manager, you have a finite amount of time to refine things in the dressing room, how much of a ball ache would that be for you if your captain is being pulled to do some fiddly-diddly interview in the tunnel before they got in?
I did see that. It was weird. It was weird. Look, I'm not a fan of it. I'll be honest. I would rather he came inside. I mean, look, if he's having a stinker, dude, how is it chosen? Is it randomly? Is it before the game? Do they suddenly decide I'm not interested? Arsenal were shit. Mum said they weren't shit, but they weren't great. We were good. You're gonna want to get inside and hear what the manager's got to say. You don't want to be out on the pitch talking. I think it's a gimmick. Me personally, I'm not a fan of it. I'm not a fan of it, to be fair. But look, it is what it is. What about you, Rebel?
Yeah, I'm used to it from watching NFL. I am an NFL fan, and I've watched a bit. I've seen it in basketball where they kind of ask about your drive and how you motivate yourself to do this, that, and the other thing. But I don't believe we should be replicating it in Premier League football. I suppose the other one that kind of I didn't really like is they've introduced this 8-second thing with goalkeepers. And we tried doing a bit of that in the GAA where we had a shot clock on kickouts. And it was a nightmare trying to actually manage it. Now, I only recall it happening once, and I think it was the Tottenham game, actually, that it happened in. But basically, because he didn't get the ball away in 8 seconds, it resulted in a corner kick to the opposition.
Yeah.
Like, if you've got to look downfield, pick out your pass, that's not a whole pile of time. So I say 90% of the time they're probably spraying without ever kind of being cognizant of where the opposition team has kind of set up their blocks. I just don't think 8 seconds is enough time. Like, obviously, we want to have the ball in play as much as possible. I understand that. We want to see football being played. And, one thing that did work in the GAA was that any kind of stoppages, the clock stopped. So the minutes in play were the minutes in play. But I just think that the tinkering that we're doing at the moment, I just think it adds too much extra tasks to officials that are currently struggling. Like, we've all seen the problems with VAR. We've all seen the problems with managing offsides. Like, they're just things that don't seem to make sense. And this is the question I'm going to bring to you. Sky are doing a ref watch type malarkey on a Monday night or Tuesday after the Premier League week is finished, where they assess refereeing decisions. And they have an ex-referee in there that they're paying good money to give analysis. Do you think, though, that there's a boys' club there?
Yeah. Yeah. They're always going to protect themselves. You've seen it. You've heard some of the audio that came out about him not wanting to throw his friend under the bus or whatever. Yes, of course, there's the boys' club. It's always going to be protected, but things will work out, Rebel. Players will get used to it. Once they start stinging them with that 8 second, I mean, it benefits us because all we do is moan about bloody Onana holding on to the ball forever. You know what I mean? Maybe he'll shift the ball out. You know what I mean? Arsenal, again, I think it's more to do with time wasting as well. You know, towards the last 25 minutes of a game when the goalie's doing this and the goalie's doing, I get it. You know what I mean? There's going to be contentious issues where, because they don't have an 8 second alarm on their watch. So there's going to be times when they're probably going to get it a second or two out. Hopefully it's going to be longer than shorter. You don't want them sticking them with 6 minutes. But at the same time, they want to change the rules. They want to seem to be busy, you know. So they're always going to try some malarkey. Look, I don't have an issue with it. The rules are the rules. It's not like anybody didn't know what was going on. I mean, obviously, my Saturday with my Saturday team, the referees explained to us that it's 8 seconds in the corner. We couldn't stop laughing at. But look, if that's the rule, that's the rule. The last thing we want is Onana fucking up and giving away a corner because you know they're going to send it straight over his head again. You know what I mean? So look, moving forward, I think they try these things, Rebel. You know, but I think it's just because they want to be busy, to be fair.
Fair enough. I'm going to put out a call for score predictions now to everybody in the chat. But while we wait for a few of those to come through, and before myself and Mr. B give ours, I'm just going to update you on a few little transfer rumours. Ben Jacobs, 3 hours ago. One of the midfield options for Manchester United remains to be Stuttgart's Angelo Stiller. No guarantee anything develops or that any midfielder arrives, but internal conversations and discussions taking place over different targets, and Stiller's name has come up multiple times in those discussions. Man United now need to decide whether to sign another midfielder before the window shuts. Manchester United, according to lesser named publications, French publications and Sports Illustrated, retain an interest in Camavinga. I think that one is a bit of a pie in the sky, to be honest with
you.
Yeah. Then obviously there's all these stats comparisons between Baliba and Camavinga, which I think is absolutely nonsensical. Camavinga is an established player. Baliba is a young man that's a different type of player to him. And the last bit of news is, again, from one of the lesser-known publications regarding Andre Onana, and that apparently he's still available for £30 million and could return to Inter Milan. But, Mr. B, before we give our predictions, you want to hit a few of the ones that have come up in the comments.
Yeah, let's have a look. We have Matty has gone 3-1 to United. Hold on. Oh, this bloody thing, boy.
Do you want me to take a few of them?
Yeah, I've got them. I've got it. Raisin Devil has gone 3-2 United if Onana or if Onana or by in the play. Stephanie has gone 4-1 United. Matteo has gone 2-0 United. Matty's actually got the goal scorers in Sesko 2, Mbeumo and Wilson. I am Titanium has gone
Fulham win 1-0.
1-0 Fulham win. I know that that totally threw me. Okay, we'll see. But has gone 2-1 United.
Mr. B,
Yeah.
I think it's over to you, though. Your score prediction.
3-1. That's a high score for me. But Fulham are going to have to come out at some stage. They're at home. They weren't great in their first game, so they're going to want to try to impress. I just feel that whatever they throw at us, Rebel, I think whatever they throw at us, I think they're just going to be able to cope with that front three. Whether he goes with Mount again, who was full of movement, or he goes with who we want him to go with, Sesko, who we're hoping will pin him back. I'm going to be so disappointed if we don't get the result. I'm not interested in a draw. Right now I want to see a performance and a win. That would really, really make my weekend. Yeah, I want the win, but I want the performance and the win. I want us to see these patterns of play that we were doing. They might dick us, and then we're here Sunday night fuming, spitting blood. But at the moment, I'm confident. I don't believe they're going to show us anything, Rebel, and I think that I think we go 3-1.
Yeah. Razin and stuff are obviously loving the open all hours content because we did start doing that with Andy Tate a couple of weeks ago. Grant, how are you? But I do want to say though, I have picked this up from sources outside of regular retail, and I am in love with this jersey. It's absolutely bleeding beautiful. Takes you right back to Eric Cantona, Kung Fu kicking that Crystal Palace fan. But I'm going to get my prediction in now. I don't believe Sesko starts, unfortunately. I want him to start, but I don't believe he does. I think Mount starts, and I think Cunha plays the 9 to begin with. I think, obviously, we will see him in the second half, and I think Cunha and Mbumo are better when Sesko is on the pitch. But I can't fault Mount last week. I thought he was decent. I don't believe Fulham have enough quality to get more than one goal. And if they do score, I think it'll be through a blunder. Brighton are a well-organised side. They're very hard to assert their authority against. And Fulham played in their ground. And they did all right. That being said, notwithstanding if we sign a goalkeeper and midfielder between now and the end of the transfer window, this is going to be one of the Rebel predictions of a victory. And it's going to be 2-0.
Rebels going for a win. Oh my God. Rebels going for a win. Oh, Rebel. Look, if we don't get the win, please. We broke the swear jar on Tuesday. So if we don't win, we'll have to be a little bit more choice with our words, maybe. But you've gone 2-0. That's good. And nobody in here has gone for a loss, obviously, apart from I Am Titanium, which did shock me, to be fair. Bart's obviously gone 2-1. I would actually I said it was to United, but I'm more assuming it's going to be to Fulham. Look, all we can do is wait now. He's actually gone through to Razin Devil for scoring as well. Cunha, Sesko, and Bruno. I think Bruno gets on there. I think Bruno does get on the score sheet, to be fair. But Rebel, when are you back?
Well, obviously, I'll be back for the good, the bad, and the ugly on Monday. I think at the earlier time it's 7 o'clock because there's a small game with a certain bunch of dippers up the road that I kind of want to see and look at how it transpires. There's obviously a bit of drama associated with that game because the tune are none too plus with the way Liverpool are transacting their Isak business. So I'm kind of looking forward to that one day. I'm not going to lie because there's a lot of extra drama to it. So I'll be back on Monday. Myself and Mr. B And hopefully, Yaba, I don't know where he is at the moment, but hopefully we'll have him back too. And maybe we'll have Rio Saves Football coming in, because I think he does enjoy a bit of good, bad, and ugly.
Yeah,
But,
he does. He'll be here on Monday. Rio will be here on Sunday for the reaction. He should be here tomorrow for the Premier League mix zone as well, to be fair. So I think the only day that we won't be out is gonna be Saturday. Not sure the situation with the watch along. I'll speak to the IT guy and see if we can get something up and running. If not, then we'll definitely be back for the reaction. So
I'm going to put a challenge out there, though. Obviously, we know we're at a game a week now. We are working on a few different show ideas that we'll probably pilot between now and the international break. But if there's a topic that could be debated, Manchester United related, that one of you in the chat want to see the panel discuss, put it in the comments after this show has ended, and we might pick up 2 or 3 of them and go trade a few blows, a few jabs, and see how it looks. So here's your opportunity to have us exchange values on the show, and maybe we'll get the chat to decide who's won the debate. I don't know if you can do that, Mr. B.
listen, I, you know me, mate. You know me. I don't mind a chit chat. You know, we'll have Yabba on disagreeing with everybody. So yeah, guys, if you are watching this and you're, watching it afterwards, yeah, in the comments, just let us know anything that you think that we should bring up, and I'm sure we'll work it out. Matty, just before I go, they're doing all right, man. They're doing all right. Pre-season's been a bit higgledy-piggledy. Haven't had the players. The system's been working. Haven't had a regular goalkeeper. He's not back until the first game of the season. So yeah, it's just making things difficult at the moment. I've had to call the game off this week just through lack of players, whether that's a bank holiday or a life issue. I have no idea. So yeah, I ain't got no football this week, mate. How you doing? How's yours doing? I'm probably not going to hear it now before the show closes, but let me know how your boys are doing, man. Rebel, I think that's it, to be fair. I think that's the short one that we were looking for today.
Absolutely. I just want to say as we sign off, Stephanie, go straight to confession. Go straight to confession. That has been the Man United agenda. We will be back via Mr. B tomorrow for the Premier League mix zone. So I think we have a special guest from Tottenham, so be sure to check that one out. But we have been the United agenda. This has been the preview with Fulham, and a very good night to you.